He was found alone in his favorite recliner, the television still flickering. No signs of struggle, no call for help. Just an eerie, peaceful stillness, like life had quietly slipped out of the room. The cause, natural, they said. But those who understand the body's deeper rhythms know better. This wasn't just aging, it was the final chapter of a slow, silent, unraveling one that happens to thousands of older men every year. What if I told you that giving up something as natural and human as self-pleasure could slowly dismantle your vitality physically, emotionally, even hormonally? That what society once shamed in young men is now quietly destroying the health of older ones. For decades, men have been taught to let that part of themselves go. It's immature. You're too old for that now. But the truth is, after 60, your body needs more attention, not less. Your prostate, your circulation, your hormones. None of them simply shut down with age. They fade because we stop giving them the signals they need to stay alive. It's not about lust, it's about life, about protecting your independence, your dignity, and the spark that makes you feel human. In this video, we'll break the silence. We'll talk about what really happens when older men stop masturbating and why it's one of the most misunderstood risks to senior health. With over 40 years of medical insight, we'll explore how something so simple can impact your energy, your hormone balance, your emotional well-being, and even your risk of prostate disease. If you're over 60 or care about someone who is, this is the conversation you were never told you needed, but it could change everything. So before you scroll past, ask yourself this: have you been ignoring a part of your body that still needs you? If this message resonates with you, please like this video, subscribe to Live Healthy. After 50, and let us know in the comments, do you believe intimacy is still important? After 60, why or why not? Now let's dive into the real consequences of letting go and the simple habits that can bring your body back to life. Number 1, loss of sexual function, use it or lose it. There's something most men are never told about growing older. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it happens in silence, and by the time you notice it, it's often already in motion. I'm talking about the slow, quiet loss of sexual function, not because of age alone, but because the body's no longer receiving the signals it needs to stay alive. After 60, the male body becomes more sensitive to one dangerous thing: disuse. When you stop walking, your legs weaken. When you stop using your memory, it fades. And when you stop engaging sexually, even occasionally, your body begins to shut down that system. Blood flow slows, nerve signals weaken, tissue starts to stiffen, and the very structure that once functioned naturally begins to deteriorate. One man I worked with, Harold, was 68 and living in Ohio. He came into the clinic confused and frustrated. He hadn't had a morning erection in months. At first, he brushed it off as part of getting older, but when it stopped completely, no sensation, no response. Not even with stimulation, he realized something was wrong. What Harold didn't know, and what many seniors don't, is that the penis is not a passive organ. It's a vascular and neurological system that needs consistent blood flow and oxygen to maintain function. When left unused, microdamage begins to build. Smooth muscle fibers can start to turn into scar tissue. This process, called fibrosis, makes it harder, sometimes impossible, for the organ to respond the way it once did. According to research published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine, men who go long periods without any sexual stimulation are more likely to experience long-term erectile dysfunction, even when other parts of their health are stable. It's not about desire, it's about circulation. It's about maintaining the body's natural systems like any other part of your health after 50. We understand the importance of stretching our legs or keeping our heart active. Yet many older men overlook this vital part of their body. The truth is, occasional sexual activity, even once or twice a week, helps preserve oxygen flow, keeps the nerves active, and signals to your body that this function still matters. Harold told me I didn't think it was necessary anymore. I thought I was doing the right thing. His voice cracked when he asked me the question no man wants to ask: can I get it back? Sometimes, yes, with therapy, medical support, and time, but not always. And that's the heartbreak. This loss is often preventable. That's why we talk about it here without shame, without judgment. This is senior health we're talking about. This is part of natural health for seniors, not an indulgence, but a system your body still depends on. Ignoring it doesn't protect your dignity. It risks your independence. Because the loss of sexual function isn't just physical. It touches your confidence, your relationships, your sense of identity. There's no need to pretend it doesn't matter anymore. Because it does. You don't have to feel ashamed of wanting to protect this part of yourself. In fact, embracing it is part of aging gracefully. It's a form of respect for your body, your past, and your future. If you're over 60 and you've noticed changes, less sensation, slower response, fewer morning erections, it might not be just aging. It could be your body asking for your attention. And there are ways to answer before it's too late. This is your reminder that it's not about youth. It's about staying whole. It's about keeping every part of your health in motion, even the ones no one talks about. Number 2, testosterone decline, the silent hormone shutdown. You don't feel it all at once. There's no warning bell, no sudden collapse. It starts quietly. One morning you skip your walk. A week later you forget your to-do list. Slowly your energy dips. You sleep more, but feel less rested. You lose interest in the little things that once made you feel alive. Most men think it's just part of aging, but often it's not. It's testosterone quietly leaving your system, and the reason your body isn't getting the signals it needs. Without regular sexual stimulation, the brain stops activating the hypothalamus. That tiny part of your brain controls hormone rhythms. When it goes quiet, your testicles stop getting the message. They slow down production. Your hormone engine begins to stall. This isn't about fantasy or libido. It's basic male biology. Testosterone plays a role in so much more than you think. It's not just a sex hormone. It maintains muscle, protects bone density, regulates mood, and keeps your heart strong. When it drops, everything else begins to shift. Don, a 72-year-old former high school coach from Montana, came to see me after feeling off for over a year. He hadn't gained weight. His labs were mostly normal. But he said, "Doc, I just don't feel like me anymore." His muscles were thinning. His thoughts were foggy. He no longer cared to call friends. He wasn't sad, just flat. We checked his testosterone. It had crashed to levels common in men over 85. Don wasn't sick. He wasn't depressed. He was hormonally disconnected from his body and from life. Low testosterone doesn't always show up as a crisis. Sometimes it's a slow fading of color from your world. You stop engaging, you start avoiding. Bones lose their strength, muscles wither, and studies have shown that men with chronically low testosterone are at significantly higher risk for cardiovascular disease, metabolic issues, and even early death. One long-term study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that older men with low testosterone had nearly double the risk of heart attack. Another from Harvard Medical School linked hormone decline to mood disorders and even early cognitive decline. This is why healthy aging takes more than a good diet. It requires attention to hormonal health. Testosterone decline isn't inevitable. It can be slowed. And one of the simplest ways is through natural stimulation, keeping the brain-body hormone connection alive. We talk a lot about daily habits for longevity. Most people think that means food and exercise, and yes, those matter. But no senior nutrition guide is complete without addressing hormones. Without testosterone, even the healthiest diet can't rebuild your strength, motivation, or zest for life. Keeping your body hormonally active through respectful, natural engagement with yourself isn't vanity. It's one of the overlooked longevity secrets for men over 60. You don't need to be chasing youth. You just need to preserve function. If you've felt less like yourself lately, it might not be in your head. It might be in your hormones. And the good news is you can change the direction. You can take back the rhythm your body's missing, not by chasing more, but by simply reconnecting with your body, with your vitality, with the part of you that still wants to wake up and feel alive. Number 3, prostate congestion, the pain without a name. There's a kind of discomfort that creeps in slowly. It doesn't scream, it nags. A dull ache in the lower back. A pressure that builds after sitting too long. A strange need to urinate even when your bladder isn't full. You feel it, but you can't explain it. And most men don't talk about it, not even to their doctor. This discomfort often points to something deeper. Not a bladder issue, not age alone, but something most men overlook: prostate congestion. It happens when the body goes months, sometimes years, without any sexual release. Seminal fluid builds up inside the prostate. That fluid is meant to move, but when it doesn't, it thickens, stagnates, and slowly triggers inflammation. John, a 70-year-old retired mechanic from Arkansas, came to me complaining of nighttime urination. He thought it was just part of aging, but further examination showed his prostate was swollen and tender. No cancer, no infection, just years of congestion that no one had warned him about. The prostate is not a passive gland. It produces and stores fluid as part of the male reproductive system. When that fluid isn't released regularly, pressure builds. That pressure can lead to swelling, discomfort, and even chronic inflammation. Over time, this can affect not only urination, but also your comfort while sitting, walking, or sleeping. What's more alarming is the link between stagnation and disease. A study from Harvard Medical School found that men who ejaculate 21 times or more per month had a significantly lower risk of developing prostate cancer. The logic is simple. Regular release helps flush out potentially harmful substances from the gland. When fluid stays trapped, it may promote cellular damage over time. This isn't about indulgence, it's about function. A healthy prostate depends on movement, just like your joints, your circulation, or your digestion. Without it, silent damage can build year after year. This is one of the overlooked doctor tips for older adults. Keeping the prostate healthy isn't just about screening, it's also about respecting its design. The body has a natural system for cleansing. When we ignore it, that system starts to break down. Prostate issues are one of the most common reasons older men lose sleep, avoid long drives, and start to feel like they're losing control of their health. But it doesn't have to be that way. This is where senior health goes beyond the surface. This is about prevention, not just reacting to disease, but stopping it before it starts. If you're serious about how to prevent aging diseases, this is a key piece of the puzzle. Sexual inactivity doesn't just affect the mind, it has real physical consequences. And the prostate, small as it may be, plays a powerful role in your comfort, confidence, and daily life. The pain may be silent, but the impact is loud. It interferes with your freedom. It steals your rest. And worst of all, many men never know why it's happening. They suffer in silence, unaware that the answer could be something so natural and so simple. You don't have to wait for symptoms. You don't need to wait for pain. A few intentional habits can help protect this vital organ. Not by doing more, but by honoring what your body still needs. You've protected your heart. You've watched your cholesterol. Now it's time to protect your prostate. And the first step begins with awareness. Number 4, emotional collapse when you lose connection with yourself. There's a moment in a man's life when things feel a little too quiet. Not the peaceful kind of quiet, but the kind that feels heavy. You're going through the motions. You wake up, you eat, you sit in the same chair. But something's missing. You feel like a shadow of the man you used to be. It's not pain. It's not fear. It's something deeper, an emptiness. Like your spark is fading and no one else even notices. You stop laughing at the same jokes. You stop reaching out. And little by little, you become invisible in your own story. No one tells you this, but emotional decline can be just as serious as physical illness. And for many men over 60, it's not caused by grief or trauma. It's caused by disconnection. Disconnection from the body, from sensation, from one of the last ways we feel human. Frank, a 74-year-old widower from Minnesota, shared with me how he hadn't experienced any intimacy, not even with himself, for over a year. I just thought that part of life was behind me, he said. But slowly he started avoiding mirrors. He stopped calling his grandkids. He said he felt like a ghost in his own house. The truth is, the chemicals released during sexual activity, dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins, aren't just for pleasure. They help regulate mood, reduce anxiety, and boost emotional stability. They remind your brain that you're still alive, still connected, still present in your own body. When a man gives up self-pleasure completely, especially in older age, those natural mood-regulating systems begin to fade. Studies from the International Journal of Neuropsychopharmacology show that low levels of dopamine are linked with depression, fatigue, and even cognitive decline. That's why emotional health for seniors needs more attention. Because sometimes what looks like depression is really disconnection. You don't have to feel constant joy, but you do need to feel something. And that's where reconnection starts. This is part of healthy aging that often gets ignored. People think intimacy is about performance. It's not. It's about feeling like yourself again. Feeling warmth in your chest. Feeling like your body still responds. Feeling like your emotions still have a home. You've heard the phrase, use it or lose it, when it comes to muscles or memory. The same goes for your emotional vitality. When you stop responding to yourself, you begin to disappear from your own life. Not physically, but emotionally, spiritually. And that kind of loss can go unnoticed for years. This is why over 60 wellness includes the mind and the heart. It's not just about walking or eating right. It's about honoring the simple ways your body still wants to connect. That connection doesn't have to involve anyone else. It starts with you, quietly, respectfully. Frank told me that when he started allowing himself to reconnect not out of habit but out of care, he began feeling more present. He started reading again. He took up gardening. He said, "It's like I woke up from a fog." And that's what this is all about. You're not done feeling. You're not done being human. Your emotions matter. Your inner life still matters. And there is no shame in choosing to protect it. You deserve to feel whole again. And you can. Starting with something as simple as remembering that you're still here and you still matter. Number 5, simple but powerful, how to restore life from within. You don't need to change everything. You don't need to go back in time or become someone you're not. You just need one thing: consistency. Small, respectful habits practiced regularly. That's what restores the parts of you that aging tries to take away. Your body's not asking for perfection. It's asking for attention. A simple routine once or twice a week can keep your blood flowing, your hormones balanced, and your spirit connected. It's not about performance, it's about presence. What many men don't realize is that self-care, even in the form of private intimacy, can serve as medicine. Not a pill, not a prescription, but a natural rhythm your body still understands. And when you honor that rhythm, your systems begin to respond. Raymond, a 66-year-old widowed veteran from Idaho, told me he had gone almost 2 years without sexual activity. "I thought I was preserving dignity," he said, "but I ended up losing pieces of myself." With quiet encouragement, he began engaging again, mindfully, respectfully. Within weeks, his energy improved, his sleep was deeper, his mood lifted. That's not coincidence, that's biology. A 2016 review published in the American Journal of Men's Health confirms that even moderate sexual activity in older adults is associated with better cardiovascular function, improved immune markers, and lower stress levels. It's a natural booster for body and brain. For those pursuing ways to live healthy after 50, this is one of the most overlooked yet effective daily habits for longevity. It doesn't require a gym. It doesn't require a partner. It only requires self-awareness and permission to care for yourself in a full and honest way. You see, the body doesn't forget how to feel. It waits for you to remember. Blood flow improves when you stay engaged. Hormones respond when the signal stays alive. Emotional well-being returns when pleasure is not ignored or pushed aside. This is not about indulgence. This is not about being younger. This is about keeping systems alive, circulation, hormones, mood. This is about protecting what makes you feel like you, not in a shallow sense, but in the deepest sense of staying grounded and whole. Men who embrace this simple truth often notice surprising results. Fewer nighttime bathroom trips, clearer thinking, a subtle return of motivation. Even their appetite for life begins to grow again, because the body is designed to respond to connection even when you're alone. So if you're looking for real natural senior health tips, here it is. Make time for yourself, not out of habit, out of care, not to fix something, but to keep what matters from fading. You are still worth showing up for, and your body still knows how to respond if you give it the chance. Let that be your strength. Let that be your healing. And let it be one more quiet, steady way to live with dignity, energy, and purpose. Letting go of self-pleasure in later life isn't a badge of honor. It's not a sign of discipline or strength. For many, it becomes the quiet beginning of physical decline and emotional disconnection. But here's the truth: this path is not final. You can shift direction gently, respectfully, without shame. Your body still remembers how to feel. Your mind still wants to connect. And your health still depends on how you care for every part of yourself, even the parts no one talks about. This is not about indulgence. It's about staying whole. It's about honoring the simple human need to feel alive. At Live Healthy After 50, we believe that aging gracefully means embracing all that keeps you vibrant, mind, body, and spirit. So if this message spoke to something inside you, take a moment, press like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you never miss another video filled with longevity tips, senior home remedies, and real advice for aging well. Your health is your greatest wealth, and you are still worth taking care of fully.